Hey everybody, it's Addison. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to wash your makeup brushes. Now I've got a pretty big collection of makeup brushes, so I'm just going to show you how I wash a few of mine, and also after that I'm going to be showing you how I dry my brushes. I'm going to be showing you a few different alternatives to drying your brushes based on whether or not you have time. So first thing that we're going to do is get your water situated. Make sure you have it at a temperature that's warm enough to really clean the bacteria out of your brushes, but not warm enough that it will scald you. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our brush wet. Make sure the bristles are pointed downward. If you point them upward, all the water is just going to rush into your brush, and it's going to get into the wood in your brush, and it's going to make it all gross, and it'll probably get moldy over time. So get your brush a little bit wet, squeeze some of that water out, and load your hand up with some soap. Just a dime size will do, and just start swirling your brush around in the soap. Make sure you really get it to sud up just like this. Make sure you get all those bubbles. If you need to get a little bit more wet, you can do that. Make sure and swirl it around a few times until you start seeing your color come out in your soap. My color is not coming out because I use this brush to highlight, so that's perfectly okay, but we're still going to clean it as good as we can. So after you've done that for a few minutes, you can start rinsing. If you need to adjust the temperature, you can. You don't have to rinse it all that well because we're about to start cleaning the brush again, just for good measure. So squeeze some of that water out of your brush. Load your hand up with some soap. Like I said, just a dime size will do. Swirl your brush around in the soap. Make sure it starts getting all bubbly. If you need to get a little more wet, that's fine. Do that for a few minutes. Make sure and really get in your bristles, just like I'm doing. You don't need to jam your brush into your hand like that because you don't want to bend your bristles out of shape. You just want to gently clean your brush just like that. And after you've done that for a few minutes, after you think they're pretty clean, you can start rinsing them. Like I said, keep the bristles pointed downwards so we won't get any mold later on. Now, whenever you are cleaning your brushes, make sure that the soap you are using is antibacterial. Otherwise, it's no use. You'll get the grime and the eyeshadow and your powder all out of your brushes, but you won't get the germs and the bacteria out of your brushes as well as you would with antibacterial soap. So that's it for this brush. Let's go ahead and try to clean another brush. Make sure your bristles are pointed downward. Get it decently wet. Squeeze some of that water out. And just do the same thing. Just swirl your brush around. Make sure you can get all of that stuff left in there. As soon as you've done that for a few minutes, go ahead and rinse just a little bit. And squeeze some of that water out and do the same thing. Make sure and really get in those bristles, okay? Now you can do this for a good minute or two just to make sure that you get all of that dirt out of your brushes. It's recommended just to do it for at least 2 minutes, or maybe even 1 minute. I think it might actually be 1 minute. Just to make sure you really get all of that grossness out of your brushes. But for the time's sake of this video, I'm doing the short version. So make sure you rinse your brush really well. Get all of that soap out of there. Kind of get all up in the bristles and make sure that you get all of that out. Alright. So we're done cleaning our brushes. So now what we are going to do is I'm going to show you how to dry your brushes. So for your brushes, if you don't have a lot of time, what you can do is you can blow dry them with a hair dryer, like the one I have right here, just an inexpensive Revlon blow dryer. If you don't have much time, just make sure that the heat setting is on the lowest setting. just because you don't want very high heat, because you can melt your brushes, especially if they're made out of synthetic hair. But before you blow dry them, make sure and swirl them around on the towel a little bit, just to make sure that you can get some of that excess moisture out of there. Same with the other ones. Don't do it too rough. We're going to be drying these here in a second, so they don't have to be like completely dry. So after that, make sure and shape your bristles like how you like them. Don't make sure that they're not like pointed outward or anything, because the way that your bristles dry is the way that they're going to stay. So make sure that they're shaped like how you want them, and you can set them out, and one by one you can just blow dry them like this. Make sure you move them so you don't melt the bristles, just so they won't be sitting like directly under a low heat current, because eventually they will still melt. Now if you have a little bit more time, like say if you are washing your brushes like at night and you're about to go to bed, what you can do is you can lay all of your clean brushes out separated just like this, kind of like in between each other like this. Make sure some are out this way, make sure some are a little bit backward like this, and just set them out like that. You can kind of fan them out just a little bit, just so that air can get in there. And I set just a regular fan right next to my brushes, pointed towards the bristles, and the bristles are pointed towards the fan, just so they can the air can really get in there and dry out those bristles. Now it doesn't have to have any heat or anything, because we're not in a hurry, we're going to sleep, so we don't really care, because I mean by the time morning comes, these will be dry. They always are for me, and I'm pretty sure they will be for you. So that is how I dry my brushes, because I always wash my brushes at night, so I always have a little bit more time. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you liked it, and if you want me to keep doing videos like this, please let me know. If you have any ideas for a video, be sure and leave a comment down below. Click like and subscribe. It would do me a whole lot of good. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Bye-bye.